Good evening, Big Blue Nation. Welcome to Giant Central, your one-stop shop for everything New York football Giants. I'm your host, Mike Brennan, coming to you live from the heart of the Meadowlands, where the lights of MetLife Stadium are still flickering with the echoes of what was and the promise of what could be. Folks, buckle up. Because tonight we got a story that's got the fan base buzzing louder than a fourth quarter comeback at the old Polo Grounds. The New York Giants are officially in the market for a new head coach after parting ways with Brian Daboll on Monday, and ESPN's Dan Orlovsky just dropped a name that's got everyone doing a double take. Ready for this? His number one pick, Kevin Stefanski. Yeah, the same Kevin Stefanski who's currently pacing the sidelines in Cleveland. Let's dive in. Picture this. It's Monday afternoon, Lambeau Field serving as the backdrop for NFL Live, and Dan Orlovsky, the former Lions quarterback turned sharp-tongued analyst, is asked point blank, who should the Giants target? Without hesitation, he says, quote, "The number one name that I would pay attention to if I was the Giants is what happens in Cleveland with Kevin Stefanski. If I could hand-pick a guy, it would be Stefanski." Orlovsky didn't stop there. He calls Stefanski an outstanding coach, pointed his 2 NFL Coach of the Year awards, and pushed back hard on the Cleveland critics, saying there's a lot of empirical data that would say otherwise. Bold words, Dan. Real bold. Now, let's be honest, Giants fans. Your first reaction was probably the same as mine. Stefanski? The guy whose Browns are 2-7 right now. Fair. Cleveland's season has been a roller coaster that only goes down. They're staring at a second straight playoff miss after a brutal 3-14 campaign last year. Stefanski's overall record in 6 seasons? 42 wins, 51 losses. Not exactly lighting up the record books. But hold the phone, because Orlovsky's argument isn't built on blind faith. He's looking at the bigger picture. 2 Coach of the Year trophies, 2 playoff appearances, including that thrilling wild card run in 2020, when the Browns actually beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Remember that? Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, a stingy defense. It felt like Cleveland had finally turned the corner. And let's not forget, Stefanski has done a lot of this while cycling through more quarterbacks than most teams go through kicking tees. Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, P.J. Walker, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. The list goes on. Injuries, drama, you name it. Orlovsky's hook for Giants fans? Simple. He believes we've already solved the quarterback puzzle that has haunted Cleveland. His exact words, "The Giants have found their franchise guy in Dart." That's Daniel Jones, of course, the 6th overall pick back in 2019, who's shown flashes of brilliance mixed with maddening inconsistency. But if you buy into the idea that Jones, with a clean pocket and weapons like Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, and a hopefully healthy offensive line, can be a top 15 quarterback, then suddenly Stefanski looks a lot more intriguing. No more quarterback carousel. Just plug and play with a proven play caller who helped turn Baker Mayfield into a playoff winner and made Joe Flacco look like 2012 Joe Flacco again last year. Let's talk scheme, because this is where it gets fun. Stefanski comes from the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. Same branch as Sean McVay and Mike McDaniel. That means heavy play action, creative run concepts, and getting the ball out quick to playmakers in space. Imagine Neighbors running those jet sweeps and crossers we saw explode against the Colts. Picture Devin Singletary or rookie Tyrone Tracy Jr. bouncing off 12 personnel looks with Theo Johnson and Daniel Bellinger sealing the edge. And on the flip side, Stefanski's Browns have ranked top 10 in rushing 3 of the last 5 years. Our offensive line, when healthy, is built for exactly that, mauling people up front like Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns on the other side of the ball. Orlovsky also drew a historical parallel that gave me chills. He reminded everyone that the Giants have always responded to hard-nosed, disciplined leaders. Think Bill Parcells turning a 3-12-1 disaster into Super Bowl 21 champs. Think Tom Coughlin, the clock management wizard who delivered rings in 2007 and 2011 with that miraculous helmet catch, and another upset over the undefeated Patriots. Stefanski might not scream in your face like Parcells or fine you for being 2 minutes early like Coughlin, but Orlovsky argues the results speak for themselves. 2 Coach of the Year awards in a 5-year span? That's rarer than a shutout at MetLife. Only 4 coaches in the entire league have multiple Cody trophies since 2000. Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, Sean Payton, and now Kevin Stefanski. But Dan didn't stop at Stefanski. He threw out a couple other names that got my eyebrows raised. Jesse Minter, the defensive mastermind in Los Angeles, turning the Chargers into a turnover machine. Kid's only 41, but his Michigan defense was historically good before he left for the NFL. Then, in a plot twist nobody saw coming, Orlov's guy said he'd entertain John Gruden and maybe even Matt Nagy. Gruden? The Chucky era feels like a lifetime ago, but the guy did win a ring in Tampa and still knows offenses like the back of his hand. Nagy? Bears fans might boo, but he did take Chicago to the playoffs twice and was Andy Reid's offensive coordinator during the Chiefs' first Super Bowl run. Let's zoom out for some historical context, because this franchise doesn't just hire coaches. We anoint legends. Remember when the Giants played at the Polo Grounds, sharing a field with baseball's Giants before they bolted to San Francisco? Or the move to Yankee Stadium, then the Meadowlands, and finally MetLife? We've seen icons roam these sidelines. Steve Owen with his umbrella defense in the 1930s. Jim Lee Howell handing off to assistants named Lombardi and Landry. Purcell's Fassel, Coughlin. Even the lean years under Dan Reeves or Jim Fassel had moments of magic. The point is, Giants fans expect more than competence. We expect championships. For Super Bowls, 8 total NFL titles dating back to 1927. Only the Packers have more. Statistically, the Giants are in a fascinating spot. We're sitting at whatever our record is right now. Coming off a season that saw us start 2-8 before a late surge gave us hope. The defense, led by Dexter Lawrence, who's basically a one-man wrecking crew, and Brian Burns flying off the edge, ranks top. 10 in yards per carry allowed. Kayvon Thibodeau is finally healthy and looking like the 5th overall pick we dreamed of. On offense, Neighbors is already breaking rookie records. And if we could just protect Jones the way Cleveland protected Flacco last year, who knows? I reached out to a couple of Giants legends for their take. Hall of Famer Michael Strahan texted me back. Stefanski? Interesting. Guy can coach his tail off. Just make sure he brings that Browns running game with him. We need to pound the rock again. And Lawrence Taylor, yes, the LT weighed in on X. As long as he lets Dex eat and brings that nasty attitude, I'm listening. Even Eli Manning chimed in on his podcast, laughing. 2 Coach of the Years? I only played for 1. Sign me up.
Now, fictional locker room buzz, because you know it's happening. Picture Dexter Lawrence in the defensive meeting room. Coach Stefanski? Cool. Just tell him Big Dex wants 20 sacks and a steak dinner. Malik Neighbors, the rookie phenom, told reporters, I just want to catch touchdowns. Whoever draws up the best plays gets my vote. And in the parking lot, you better believe the tailgate crowds are debating this harder than the 2007 NFC Championship. Predictions? Buckle up. If Cleveland decides to move on from Stefanski, and early reports say ownership is split, the Giants have to pounce. Pair him with GM Joe Schoen, keep defensive coordinator Shane Bowen, and suddenly we're talking about a team that can hang 30 on the Eagles and still suffocate Dak Prescott. Playoff berth in 2026? I'm calling it right now. Wild card at worst, NFC East title at best. And if Stefanski brings even half of what he did in 2020, we're looking at sustained contention, not just a flash in the pan. But here's the thing, Giants fans. This is our moment. We've endured the dark years, the 3-13 seasons, the quarterback controversies. We've cheered through snowstorms at Old Giant Stadium and danced in the confetti at University of Phoenix Stadium. Twice. This franchise knows how to rebuild the right way. Parcells to Sims to Hostetler. Coughlin to Eli to that 2011 Magic. No. Jones to Neighbors to Stefanski. Stranger things have happened in East Rutherford. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, because we're tracking every rumor, every interview request, every smoke signal coming out of Quest Diagnostics Training Center. The search is on, and Big Blue is about to rise again. This is Mike Brennan, reminding you, once a giant, always a giant. We'll see you right here tomorrow with the latest. Good night, and let's go Big Blue.